The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Glamazzo.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner. My name is Mike Glamazzo. My sidekick in crime is not with me today. And he's down in Florida. He went down yesterday. And we're going to hold the fort down. And good morning, Chrissy.
Good morning.
How you doing, hon?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Everything's under control. You got to admit,
Totally
the
under
snow makes
control.
things look absolutely gorgeous out there, doesn't it?
It does.
You got snow in Australia?
No, technically yes, but the long answer would be that I'm from the south, so that's where it would be cold from where I'm. But you have to drive for hours and hours and hours, and then up a mountain for hours and hours, and then maybe if you're lucky in the dead of winter, you'll get a bit of snow. So it's it's not on our streets like it is here.
So this is cool.
Incredible.
This is nice.
Super cool. I love it.
I have to
Till I
admit,
have to go out.
Salem, New Hampshire has really done a great job with their plowing.
Oh,
I mean, the roads were decent coming down here.
How was Wyndham?
Compared to some Wyndham is incredible.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's bare. I mean, one thing about Wyndham, it's they're very good at taking care of the streets and everything else. So that's good. David, how you doing?
Doing very well.
All right.
We have a new sponsor.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
We've got the Butcher Boy.
Excellent. Now that brings back memories for you, doesn't it, Mike?
You know something? I went to work for the Yamin family 1955.
Wow.
I had just graduated from grammar school, and I was the bag boy, shagging carriages, you name it.
That's cool.
But a hard-working family, great people to work for. I learned a lot as a youngster that I brought forward as we went on, and we stayed in the market business. Mm-hmm. And I can't say enough good things about them. Have you been in the North Andover Butcher Boy?
I have.
Absolutely
great
incredible.
Store. Yeah, it's a great. Store.
You know, folks, 60 feet of meat case, 60 feet of fresh cut, not wrapped, fresh cut steaks, veal chops, lamb. It's candy to the eyes. It really is. It's a pleasure. They have a full produce market now. Mm-hmm. So, you come in, you need a steak, you need salad. Everything you want is there. And they're on Osgood Street in North Andover, close to where Lake of Chickwick is.
Right.
And Osgood Street, for those who don't know, that's Route 125.
Right.
But I welcome old friends back with me. I have a lot of respect for the family. I really do.
A locally owned market. I mean,
locally owned, and the produce, they buy as much local product as they possibly can in season. So it's good, and I'm looking forward for a long-term relationship with the Butcher Boy. We're going to talk. We're going to talk a little bit more about them in the next quarter when we get into the second half of the show.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about having them on board with us. And by the way, for you.
Yes.
I know you're a wine drinker.
I am.
Ooh, and a nice selection of wines.
Yes, they do.
They got over 1,000 bottles of wine.
Do they really?
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's massive.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the Butcher Boy Market, 1077 Osgood Street, North Andover, Massachusetts. You'll be hearing a lot about them as the show goes on. But right now, I am excited. Because of all the guests that we have on during the course of the year, folks, someone who's been very special to me and someone that I look forward to having on with me is our good friend, Marianne Esposito. Marianne, are you on with me?
I am. I wish I was there with you.
Well, you know something? We had to make some adjustments, and better safe than sorry. But
okay, but can I come to the studio another time?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got so much going on in your life. If you can squeeze us in, I mean, man, oh, man, you don't slow down at all.
For you, Mikey, I will do anything, as you know.
Who's better than you? You know, I remember I helped you sell some books. You doing a book signing over at Tuscan, and I can't believe the amount of people that came in. I mean, we went through like 4 or 5 master boxes of books in a matter of like an hour and a half. You were supposed to be there for like 3 or 4. In an hour and a half, you were done, girl.
I was done, and I kind of miss that now because of the pandemic. It's very hard to do those kinds of events, but I'm hoping that, we're going to get over this curve and we're going to be able to get back to that. So anytime you want to help me with a book signing,
I had
please.
a ball. I did. I had a ball. I really did. I met, there's so many people that I know from the Feast and Lawrence, so many people that I know because of this radio show. It was like old times for me. I had a chance to press the flesh like you. Nobody ever asked me for my picture, though. That's all I had to do is take pictures all the time. It was driving me crazy. No, we have a lot of fun. And Joe Farrow, he has so many good things to say about you and your family. It's unbelievable. And speaking of Joe Farrow, you did 12 shows filming it at the Tuscan, right?
Yes, we did actually our 30th season, all at Tuscan cooking school, La Scuola di Culinaria. We did that.
I love it. Can you say that again?
La Scuola Culinaria.
Oh, music to my ears.
School.
Music to my ears. That's wonderful.
It's a beautiful, beautiful school. And we worked in collaboration with Joe's staff. They were absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, they're all Edwin, the whole Brenda. Yeah, you got the host.
Put Joe on one of the shows. He did his famous tagliatelle with the bolognese sauce. And then David Crinieri, who's the exec chef, also did a show with us. So those shows are going to come out in April.
They'll be out in April.
Yeah.
And this is your 30th season?
30th year. Yeah.
Gosh.
And it's funny. I think back on it and I go, wow, there's just so much more to do. Really, we've just scratched the surface, but I know it sounds like what else can you do? But really, there is a lot more to do.
One question that you and I don't think I've ever asked this question. The concept of Ciao, Italia.
Yeah.
When did that run through your pretty little brain? How did you come up with that?
It didn't. It ran through Gaetano's brain.
Guy, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. It was Guy who said, you want to think about doing a TV show. And I said, are you crazy? At that point, that was in 1989, I was teaching adult education Italian cooking classes in Dover.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how this started. And that was, you had, at that time, you had to bring everything with you, all the pots, the pans, the ingredients, go up 9 flights of stairs, get everything ready. It was a labor of love because it was exhausting. You didn't have a staff to help you. But that's how it started, really. And then, Guy said, you said what? Go to UNH.
I said, you're good enough, a teacher, to do this on television. Why don't you put a proposal into UNH Channel 11's right there and right down the street from us?
Right.
Put a proposal in for them.
What was what was the first day? The first show? How? Tell me. Our listeners want to know. All right, our listeners want to know what transpired on that day. How nervous were you? I can't even imagine.
You had to do a pilot first because you had to prove that you could do this.
Okay.
And so, I went to Channel 11. I said, okay, we'll do an Italian picnic. Al fresco. We'll do something outside.
Okay.
So they came to my house, this big, huge mixing truck, all these people, they came in, they took everything off the walls. They stopped the clocks. It was hotter than hell. It was a hot August day. They slapped some makeup on you. They put a camera. They said, okay, we're going to count you down now. 5, 4. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, I better have something to say. This was not scripted. There was no script.
Oh, no script.
No, I've never used a script. I don't know how anybody can cook and use a script because I'm watching my fingers, making sure I'm not going to cut them off with my knife. If you're reading off a script and you're trying to chop, I don't know how you do that. But anyway, this show, this pilot, Guy was in the hospital working, and it started like 8 o'clock in the morning. We didn't finish this 26-minute episode until 7 o'clock that night. It was let's just stop and go. The producer kept saying, okay, now remember, be up, up, up. So finally I was talking like that.
I'm so pretty, so pretty. I can't even imagine.
After it was over, after we finished it, it was just mentally and physically exhausting. I said, no way. I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. I told them, I said, it's too much. So then what they did was they sent this pilot out to the public to see what their reaction would be. And I guess everybody loves al fresco dining because it got pretty good review. So then they had to go out and find sponsors. So our first sponsor was King Arthur Flour. So King Arthur Flour came on and we did 13 episodes. And when I went into the studio to do the first live show, I just had to say to myself, you know your subject, just pretend that the lens is a person. You're talking to a person. So I had to block out all these people that were there, in the studio. Because at that time you had long cameras that had to track with cables.
Oh, sure.
You had the guy that's counting down the minutes. I mean, it was just, and I just had to block all that out and say, okay, I am making involtini and that's what I'm concentrating on.
Wow.
So I just made it seem like you were sitting, you, a good friend, were sitting in my kitchen and I was going to show you how to make involtini. And so that's how that started. I wouldn't want to see those early shows. I'm sorry. I think I've improved since then, but
she's too humble.
No, I don't.
She was good right out from the gate.
But you know what I think helped me? I think the fact that I love to be with people. I love to teach people. And, I'm not afraid to talk.
No, really?
I can be very gregarious.
That's why I like it when you come on with me. I don't have to say much of anything, but when Tommy's here, I don't get too much to say, because he keeps yakking away like crazy. But
I'd milk this for everything you've got today.
Oh, baby, you got it. You got it. We haven't introduced your husband. Why don't you introduce your husband to our public?
Well, this is my best friend, my hubby, Gaetano.
I love that. I love that.
Also known as the wine guy.
Absolutely.
And Guy's a big part of Ciao Italia because he is responsible for the episodes that we do in our garden, which is our home garden. So in all these 30 years, we have done episodes from the garden, and it's Guy's job every year before we do these shows. I say to him in January, right about now, this is what I need you again. This is what I need you to plant for me. So I've had him do fava beans. He's done artichokes. That's very difficult to do in New Hampshire.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
We've done all kinds of Italian lettuces, broccoli rape, you name it, he's done it. And so without him, we wouldn't have a complete show. So even though we were arguing earlier
that was funny. I enjoyed that. I was in stitches over here. When we were trying to get Marianne up and running, we could hear her, but they couldn't hear us. And it was hysterical. It's the blue wire. Run the blue wire. I thought that was pretty cool. How many years? How many years for the both of you? You've been married?
56.
It is 56.
Yeah.
Salute.
Right. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. That's great. And to say that your best friend, I think that's something. And he's not bad to go to Italy with either, right?
Oh, he's great because he does all the wine education. He helps me in the cooking schools because we have people with us. Like this year, we've got 22 people all jammed into an Italian cooking school. And if you know anything about Italian kitchens, they're not very big.
No, they're not.
And Guy will run around and help me and let them help them. And then he pairs the wines with the food that they're going to eat. It's a joint effort is what it is.
A couple of times we've had lunch together. And I found Guy to be somewhat intimidating when it comes to the wine. That's why I didn't order the wine. Let him order the wine because he knows a hell of a lot more about it than I do.
Well, he did go and get his certification.
I know. I remember when he did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's.
Yeah, he went to intense. It was very intense.
That was a very intense week.
Yeah.
Among your
Like
other.
being back in medical school.
Yeah,
it was
really.
like being back in medical
So
school.
you had a career in the medical field, and now you're having fun doing something else, and I think that's great. Between growing produce and knowing all about the different types of wines and everything else, that's remarkable. People say to me, "Can you smell the?" I can't. I can't smell the pear. I can't smell the oranges. I don't know what the hell's in the wine. All I know is it tastes good, and I like a hearty red wine. That's what.
So do I.
And thank God, my grandfather, Big Mike, on his farm, he grew grapes, and he would buy other grapes to mix with it. But growing up, I thought everybody in America at 3:00 had a glass of wine with some stale bread. When I started having some friends, and the mother would come up to me and say, "Michael, yes, would you like a glass of milk and some cookies?" Wow, what's cookies? What milk? What the hell's this milk? David, we have a gift certificate we're giving away today, right?
Yes, we do. And I've been chatting with the people on Facebook, but just for you watching, go to Facebook, just type in the word Grazie. We have a $75 gift card for Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake that someone can win. We'll do a drawing at the end of the show. We'll take some calls a little bit later, but if you want to get in now.
As soon as we get back from this break, we're going to break early.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll open up the lines.
Right.
And the telephone number is 603-704-3200, extension 800.
Perfect.
Okay.
And you can also do it on Facebook. You just type in Grazie in our chat here, and you're on the list.
And you'll tell us
do a drawing at the
some
end.
of the questions that people are asking you online?
Yes.
Sounds good. $75. We have a restaurant that's in Drake, Massachusetts, Mary Ann. We'll have to try it when the weather gets a little bit better. They really run a real class operation. It's at a country club. It's up nice and high. As a matter of fact, if you're eating outside, you can actually see the Boston skyline from Drake, Massachusetts, which is incredible. But we're going to.
We'll go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Guy, you can order the wine, okay?
And you can pay, Mikey.
No problem.
Brilliant.
No problem. I charge. David's in. Chrissy's in. We're all in. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to chat a little bit more. And once again, everybody, $75 gift certificate. Give us a call. You have any questions at all? We're going to make it brief. That's all I ask. You want to ask a question online? David will take care of them. And at the end of the show, we'll announce our winner. Right? Take a break, guys, and we'll be right back. Mary Ann, Guy, stay with us.
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. Grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State Inspection Station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
And we're back. Boy, that was quick. Jeez, I didn't even get a chance to have a cup of coffee. Coffee. Chrissy, I believe we have a caller.
We do. Our good friend Roger, I think, is on the line. Let me just bring him in. Give me a second.
Okay. Marianne, we have a caller for you.
Hello.
Hi. Who are we talking to?
Mike, this is Roger.
Roger, how are you?
No. Technical difficulties.
All right. Why don't we, I'll continue talking with Marianne.
Yeah, Roger should be on the line with us.
Roger. No. All right.
Roger.
Yeah.
There he is.
Roger, where did you go?
I don't know. I'm lost in a maze of technology here. I have no idea.
Hey, Raj, you have we have Marianne on with you. Do you have a question for Marianne that we can ask?
I do have a question. My question is, how long do you think you're going to keep this insane pace up? Also, we haven't met, but I think you know who I am at some point. I gave to Mike some marinated eggplant about 5 years ago.
Yep.
That he said he gave to you.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered how you enjoyed that. And I believe he also was supposed to give you a little wooden dock to put your tablet or iPhone on. And if he didn't give it to you, shame on him. I will give him one, and I'll give him one for Guy.
All right. Why don't we do that?
Well, Happy New Year, Bonanno. I can tell you this, Mikey ate the eggplant, but he did give me the stand for my iPhone, which I use all the time. And I thank you again, but could you make me some eggplant that I could actually get from Mikey? So, he ate the last batch.
I have one in stock.
Okay, good. Save that for me.
Hey, Roger. Thank you very much for giving us a call, and you're going to be.
Thank you, Roger.
You're going to be one of our callers for a $75 gift certificate. We're going to announce the winner at the end of the show, Roger. Thank you very much.
All right. We also have another caller.
We have another caller?
Yes.
You're going to be
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
Pietro, how are you, my friend? Do you have
Fine. This is Peter Scipoletti.
Do you have
I
a
want to say hello to Marianne and Guy. I do have a question. I just want to say, though, that I grow many varieties of tomatoes. I've grown, in the last couple of years, 130 tomato plants, like 90 varieties that I start from around the world. And I've also grown artichokes. I don't know anybody else in New Hampshire that grows artichokes. So anyway, the question I have is we want to make some homemade pasta. What flour do you recommend? I have a bag in front of me of Caputo, a durum wheat semolina, but what do you like, Marianne?
Well, I like to use the Caputo will work as long as it's the 00. Does it say tipo 00 on the bag? Because if you're telling me it's semolina, it has to be the fine grind of semolina. That would be the durum semolina. If it's just semolina, it's very gritty. And it's hard to move, to work that kind of flour with water. So you should either use the 00 durum semolina, which you can find. Red Mill makes it. King Arthur Flour has it. Or you could use the Caputo as long as it says 00, because the Caputo you also use to make pizza.
Oh, okay.
Sure. This doesn't say 00, but it does say durum wheat semolina. So I think I'm okay. We'll have to give it a try.
All right.
Thanks so much.
I want to thank you, Peter, for giving us a call. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. David, do we have anybody? We're all set now? A lot of people are asking Marianne, what was dinner like for Christmas at the Esposito household? What did you prepare? Just run us through it quick. Just I'm curious.
Well, we start thinking about Christmas dinner on the day after Thanksgiving, because that's when Guy and I make all the ravioli. So we make all the ravioli. I make the cheese too, the ricotta cheese. I mean, you don't have
So you make your homemade cheese.
Yeah, make homemade ricotta cheese. We did it actually as a show. It's the simplest thing in the world to do.
Can you run that by us?
Well, yeah, all you have to do, start with a gallon of milk. First of all, get yourself an instant, a candy thermometer. You're going to need a thermometer.
Right.
So you have a clean pot, big pot. You put in a gallon of milk.
Yep.
You bring the milk to about 120 degrees on that thermometer.
120?
Then 120.
Yeah.
Then you have to add some sort of acid. Now, a lot of people will use rennet, which is it's a coagulant that is processed today from the stomach lining of cows. You can buy that online.
I'm thinking tripe. I'm thinking tripe here. Why am I thinking tripe?
Oh, don't think tripe.
Don't tripe. Awful.
But I use fresh lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice, or you could use vinegar. You could use white vinegar, and you don't need a lot. So for a gallon of milk at the 120 mark, that's when I add about a quarter of a cup of fresh lemon juice. Do not stir. Do not stir.
David.
Let the acid work with the milk, and it will separate the curds, which is the cheese part, from the whey, which is the liquid. And as those curds form, you take them out with a slotted spoon and put them in a cheesecloth lined sieve to allow them to drain, a colander. And you have to let it drain a good hour and a half. You can go on ciaoitalia.com and watch this video of me making the cheese, so you can do it yourself. It's so much better than what you can buy, because it's firm. It's not, the stuff you buy in a grocery store, it's almost like wallpaper paste. It's too soupy.
It's very wet.
Doesn't have any flavor.
Very wet. Yeah. Wow. So that's a lot of work for the average person, though.
No. It's so easy. Honestly,
watch the video.
It's simple. It is so simple.
Easy.
So then he and I make all of the ravioli. I think this year we made like 200 or so, and we put them in the freezer.
200? Yeah.
200, about 200.
Wow.
And we have children who cannot eat fish. They both have severe allergies. So there goes the 7 fishes. We used to do that at home.
Yeah.
but we can't do it. So either we'll do capon, which is a classic holiday bird.
We're going to talk about
Italians. Italian sausage. We made our own Italian sausage. We did our own meatballs. We had the ravioli. I made a roast pork. We had roasted fennel. What else do we have? Insalata. We had sides of different vegetables. I made panettone. We had all kinds of Christmas cookies and fruitcake.
You must have slept for a week after that.
And we made cucciadati, which are the Sicilian fig-filled cookies.
David has a question for you, David.
Marianne, back to the cheese, when you said a gallon of milk, are you looking at
whole milk?
Whole milk, or what kind of milk?
You can use whole milk or you can use skim milk. I prefer the whole milk because you get a much richer taste.
Brilliant.
But you can do it with low fat milk. I wouldn't use skim milk, but low fat milk.
Once again, everybody, if you'd like to give us a call, telephone number 704-3200, extension 800. The lovely Chrissy will be with you. I believe we have a caller.
No, we don't.
No, David, no.
No, I have a question, though.
You do have a question. Go ahead.
So
this is on Facebook?
Yes, this is a Facebook question again from Peter. What are their favorite tomatoes to grow?
Well, I'm going to let Guy answer that question because he does a beautiful job.
Well, I've had as many as 90 tomato plants, but I'm impressed.
I'm impressed with Peter, yeah.
It's just too much work. So each year now I'm cutting back. This year we had 43. What I like is a yellow cherry called Sun Gold. And I like a red cherry called Sweetwood 100. And then we grow something called Costoluto Genovese, which is a ribbed beefsteak type tomato.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a nice cocktail size. It's bigger than a cherry, but smaller than a regular tomato, and it's called Piagnolo.
Piagnolo del Vesuvio, because this is a tomato that grows at the base of Mount Vesuvius and very good.
All the minerals in the ground. Yeah, sure. From all
these tomatoes are fantastic.
Yeah, this tomato it produces very heavily, and when you let it get fully ripe and you pick it and you can put it in salads, you can just eat it as you would eat any cherry tomato.
You know, Peter and Roger, Peter in particular, he grows so many different varieties of the heirloom tomatoes.
We got a call.
Oh, we got a call. All right.
Okay. Now we can hear you.
Okay. I was just saying the heirloom tomato is what Peter specializes in. But we do have a call, right?
We do have a caller on the line.
And who's on?
Karina,
you're on the Sicilian Corner. You have a question for Marianne?
Hello?
Karina.
Hello.
Hey.
Yep. How are you? Hello.
Hello, caller, who's clearly not Karina. We're talking to you. Who have we got on the line?
All right.
This is Tony.
Hey, Tony. You have a question for Marianne?
Yeah, I do. So, Marianne, for us folks out here, really like Italian food, but clearly don't have the skill set that you have. Do you have in the Boston area? Do you have a favorite Italian restaurant?
In the Boston area?
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, I would have to say I do love going to Joe Faro's restaurant there, Tuscan Kitchen down in the Seaport is good.
Okay.
Also in the North End, I haven't been there in a while, but try R2, A-R-T-U, R2.
They're very good. I'm familiar with that restaurant.
Yeah.
Very good.
The North End's changed a lot, you know. I mean, it's a lot of the Italian restaurants have kind of gone by the wayside, but R2 has always been consistent. So,
have you ever, Marianne, gone into Ristorante Uno? It's on
but you're going
Salem
to take
Street.
me there.
I'm taking you there too.
Yeah.
Wow! I didn't realize I was going to be so popular. That's a good thing.
Great question,
Tony, I want to thank you very much for giving us a call.
Thank you, Tony.
And you're in the running for a $75 gift certificate. All right. Do we have any questions at all from the Facebook side of things?
Not right now.
Not right now. So,
well, Mikey, getting back to the tomatoes, one of my favorite plum tomatoes is the Ridorta.
San Marzano Ridorta. It's
not
it's
familiar
a
with it.
huge tomato. It's as big as a grapefruit.
Wow.
And there's very little seeds. It's a plum. And Marianne, we cut them in half and we dry them in a dehydrator until they're not leathery, but
bendable. They're bendable.
Bendable.
Yeah.
So then what she does is she'll boil them in some vinegar.
Just for a minute.
For 1 minute.
Just a blanch?
Yeah, just to set the color and also the taste.
Yeah. Okay.
And act to kill anything that might be there, any kind of bacteria.
Yeah.
And then we put them in olive oil. We layer them in olive oil, cap the jar with olive oil. Ooh. You can put them in a hot water bath and seal them. I have them in my pantry now. They're 4 years old. They're delicious. I mean, they're fantastic. And when you think about it, this is how the Italians used to preserve some of their foods, including eggplant, the one that you ate on me. So these tomatoes.
You're never going to live that down, Mike.
I'm in trouble.
As long as you keep these vegetables under oil, so that there's no air getting in there, they'll be fine. The Italians call that sott'olio. Sott'olio means under oil. And I remember my grandmother making these eggplant sandwiches for my grandfather, where she had this crock with a big wooden top on it. And she would just scoop out the eggplant, cover the breast with oil. And this would go on, for weeks and months. And she would use it with good crusty bread. So we do that with the Ridorta. But, Mikey, this year I have a new book coming out, a new vegetable garden book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We explain a lot of this stuff. And I couldn't have written the book without Guy, because everything I know about the garden, everything I know about vegetables, I've learned from Guy over the years.
Well, that's not true.
Well, no, it is true.
Now that she's researched this book, she knows a lot of stuff.
I know a lot of stuff. So, but in the book, I do talk about tomatoes and what you can grow. And everyone tells you, I'm sure you've heard people say, oh, I'm growing San Marzano. No. You can't grow San Marzano. You can grow plum tomatoes. Yeah. But San Marzano is a specific plum tomato that can only be grown in one place. And where do you think that is?
Italy. Sicily.
San Marzano, Italy.
Absolutely.
So if you're buying canned plum tomatoes and it says San Marzano, you better be sure that it has DOP, those letters after it. Because that will tell you.
That's the documentation?
Yes, that's the documentation that tells you you're getting the real thing from Italy. But you cannot grow here in the States San Marzano. You can grow plum tomatoes, which are a type of San Marzano, but are not San Marzano.
I know you didn't get a chance to taste Roger's eggplant, but... Right. He gets together with 3 or 4 guys, and they go out and they actually pick them in the morning, the eggplant. They wash them, they get them cleaned up. And then by afternoon, they're actually slicing them and getting them ready to be bottled in bottles. Right. I mean, that's how quick the operation is. And
wow.
I apologize for not getting that jar over to you. I thought I did, but I think it got detoured somewhere along the line.
To your stomach. Yeah.
As you can tell. You mentioned capon.
Yeah.
And to me, I think capon is so superior than chicken.
Oh, it is.
It used to be, back in the day, the main course really for Christmas dinner. Right. All of a sudden now you have to really go searching for it. And if you do find it, it's frozen. Right. But boy, I'll tell you, and for those of you who don't know about a capon, I often refer to Tommy sometimes as a capon, but that's
not a good thing.
A capon, folks, is a castrated rooster.
I'm glad you said that and I didn't.
Wow.
Hey, listen, we got to pay some bills, so we're going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
We're back. We have Marianne Esposito. Where's the guy going? The Bacauzo?
No, he went to get a glass of wine.
And make sure you mention the Grazie gift card. We just had the commercial. We
Yeah, we got the Grazie gift card, $75. Give us a call. We can accept a few more calls before.
Or put Grazie in the chat.
I'm sorry?
Or put the word Grazie in the Facebook chat.
Yes, absolutely. Just make sure you do that.
Yes.
And just repeat that once again, David.
So we have the $75 gift card from Grazie.
Yep.
Thank you very much for them for supplying that
Absolutely.
to us. If you want to be involved in the giveaway, which we'll do in the next 10 minutes or so, just put the word Grazie in the Facebook chat or take a phone call. We'll put your name in if you call in, but it's super easy on the Facebook chat. Just
Okay.
type the word Grazie and you're in.
You know, we've had a little bit of a problem, guys, answering phone calls only because, Marianne, we have you on Zoom. And you have to have a delay when you're answering the phone. So, again, I apologize for that little snafu, but we have to be quick on our feet in situations like this. And a Zoom meeting and having you guys sit in with me was kind of spur of the moment like this. So you just have to bend a little bit, and that's what we're doing. One of our Facebook folks wanted to know, Guy, how big of a garden do you grow?
It's about a third of an acre. It's 60 by 25.
You got a truck farm. That's what that is.
Well, I wind up feeding all our neighbors.
That's
we have neighbors on either side of us, and then another one, and across the street, and then down the street. There's 4. It feeds 5 families, really.
Yeah. Well, the benefit of doing a show like this and a radio show like this, you get to know your listeners quite well. And Roger and Peter, who called in earlier, those two guys inundate me with tomatoes, whatever you. I mean, I don't have to buy produce for the whole summer. I really have it made. I really do, and I love those heirloom tomatoes. I really.
Yeah, you're spoiled. Yeah.
Well, this is it. We have Marianne. You have a foundation. Would you like to discuss that a little bit and tell people what you're trying to do with the foundation?
We established something called the Marianne Esposito Foundation way back in 2007, I believe it was. And it was a way for me to kind of give back to people who have, believed in me and supported me. And the goal of the foundation is to provide scholarships, actually, for culinary students who are in programs where they are training to be a professional in the food world, especially relating to Italian food. So we have provided scholarships for students at Boston University. We have made scholarships in people's names at New York Technical University, the Italian American Museum in New York City, just to name a few, Providence, Johnson and Wales. And so it's an opportunity for us to help culinary students realize their dreams. And the other aspect of the foundation is to create an online digital library that anyone can access, where you can find these traditional Italian regional recipes that at some point are going to be forgotten, lost, gone to time.
Absolutely.
Because as you know, things are changing in Italy as they are here. Younger people, they're not home cooking. They're out in the digital world. They don't have time to do this type of thing that their aunts and their mothers did. So this will be a repository, this digital library of traditional recipes where anyone can go and retrieve them and carry on those traditions that we've established through Ciao Italia. So I'm very proud of the foundation, and
as well you should be.
Yeah, and helping people to achieve their goals.
What is your website, guys?
It's Ciao Italia, CIAOITALIA.com, and it's all new now. We have a whole new website.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so it's much easier to access, and we have, oh my gosh, there's like 1,500 videos and over 3,000 recipes, all free for anybody who wants to go there and access them.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
The nice thing about it, excuse me, Mike, the nice thing about it is that if you want chicken cacciatore tonight, you can go there and get the recipe. And there's a video clip taken from one of the shows where she cooked this, where you can watch her cook it.
Yeah.
So then you can get the recipe, you watch her cook it, you go in the kitchen, you cook it.
Boom, it's done. Yeah.
Piece of cake. You said about how things are changing. Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to jump in real quick, folks. We don't have any more time to take phone calls. We have taken the number down, but you have 4 more minutes left. If you jump on the Facebook page, if you're not already there, type Grazie into the chat, and we will put you in the draw for that $75 Grazie gift card. So you got 4 more minutes to enter that draw, so make sure we're doing
All right. That I appreciate that. Speaking of homemade cooking and talking about food and everything else, I just want to mention our new sponsor, the Butcher Boy. What a selection of prepared food products they have. I mean, everybody's working hard. Everybody's worried about, what's going on in the world. And I'll tell you, between the Italian wedding soup, the clam chowder, I mean, whatever you want. I mean, they have a huge, huge variety. David, they get their own roast beef, they season it, and they cook it on site. What a nice smell it makes throughout that store, boy. I'll tell you.
Wow.
I mean, it really is. It's absolutely unbelievable. And for more information on the Butcher Boy Market, go to butcherboymarket.com. And once again, we welcome them on board to the Sicilian Corner. Marianne, the other thing I wanted to ask is, your grandmothers, you learned a lot from them, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's how you really kind of got the inspiration to do what you're doing. I don't know if you're familiar with this because, like you said, different regions of Italy and Sicily in particular, the food varies so much. It's unbelievable. My little Nonna Messina, who was, I don't think she was 4'11", but she was the sweetest woman. And they had the old stove, the black stove tops on it. And she would eat tangerine, but then she'd get the skin and put it behind on the stove. And the aroma of that tangerine. Are you familiar with that kind of a tradition?
We didn't do that at home, but that's funny you should mention that, because when our kids were growing up, what I would do is I would take those, like the orange skins and tangerines and grapefruits, and I put them in a pot of water. Then I'd throw in a cinnamon stick and some cloves. This would be at the holiday. And I would just boil it. And the whole house just smelled beautiful so when you said that, it brought back that memory, but I don't remember my grandmother's ever putting the tangerines on.
She put them not on the high stove, but in the back of the burner.
Yeah, so the aroma,
You'd walk in there, it's beautiful thing. So I tried the other day, I had some oranges, so I took the skin, and in the center of my stove, I have like a hot plate, and I put them on. Oh, it was like my Nonna Messina's house.
See, isn't that a wonderful memory?
To me, I tell you, I love the old traditions. I love the old customs. I love to cook. There's something about it. It just makes you feel it's uplifting. It really is. It really is. So we got a new book coming out, and that's going to be on gardening, and we can expect that in the fall?
Yes. This book is called Plant Harvest Cook. So there are over 100 recipes in it, and it's based on what we grow in the Ciao Italia garden, peppers, eggplants, you name it, tomatoes, artichokes, all the things that Guy has grown over the years. And there's simple planting advice there. If you want to grow your own garden, you don't have to. But there are over 100 recipes on how to use these vegetables, from zucchini to artichokes to radishes to yellow beets to you name it, broccoli rape. So it comes out in October. It has beautiful, gorgeous photography in it. And I wrote it during the pandemic. That was how I dealt with the pandemic. I wrote this
kept
book.
yourself busy.
It kept me, kept me busy, and it took a good 2 years to write it because it had to be right. So I had Guy proofread it, make sure that I was planting the seeds exactly the way he does it, a half inch, a quarter inch, whatever. But even if you don't have a garden, you can use this book because of the recipes that are in there, the stories about
that's great.
The recipes, and a lot of folklore about how Italians look at vegetables and how they use them. So that comes out in October.
All right. Having you on board with me, the both of you guys, it's a delight. It really is. I do want to ask you one question about another chef who I know you were pretty close with. I was wondering what your thoughts were of Julia Child.
Oh my goodness. Well, Julia, I still have a postcard that Julia sent me. Julia, she was unique. She started this whole movement of the cooking shows.
Unique, good word to use. Unique.
Yeah, she was unique. If she hadn't been who she was, I don't think any of us would have followed. But she opened the world to more than what we were used to.
French cuisine,
made us see food in a whole different light.
Yeah, and she didn't, there was nothing perfect about her when she was cooking. If she made a mistake or an egg fell, big deal.
I remember when she made this chocolate gâteau cake, and she was carrying it to the dining room where she always, sat and did her show. It slipped off the plate, so now it's on the floor. So she just says, "Oh, well, we'll call it something else."
I had the pleasure of meeting her twice. Once was at the Boston Harbor Hotel for their opening. Yeah. And we were sitting there, and she came in with her husband, who was a very small man.
Right. She's tall like you.
She's 6'2". When I talked to her, I was eye to eye with her, and there's not many women that I get like that with. But anyway, and she had that maitre d' just, I will order for the table, and with that high-pitched voice, You turned around to look. I mean, you couldn't. Her voice just penetrated you.
You
Just
couldn't miss her. No,
just
no.
penetrated.
She actually came. She came to the studio. We did a show with her in our studio here in New Hampshire. It was in August. I remember it specifically because her birthday is in August, like mine. So we decided we would make her a birthday cake. So at that point, she was in her 80s. So she came to the studio because she had a place in Maine that she would go to with her family. So on the way back, she stopped in New Hampshire. And I was in the middle of making a frittata during the show.
Nice.
So we had her sit down next to me. And so the producer said, well, let's make her part of the show. Well, of course, So I'm going along there, whipping up the eggs and everything. And I looked over at her and I said, Julia, what do you think this needs? Do you think there's something else I should put in this? And she just pipes right up. She's, yes, bourbon.
Listen, we're going to have to draw our winner. David, who do we have?
The winner is Andy Parisi.
Andy Parisi.
For Andy.
Oh, viva Sandalfio, viva Sandalfio. Andy Parisi. Andy, I'll mail you out the gift certificate, my friend. Andy's one of our strong followers on Facebook, and every week he faithfully watches our show, and I'm glad. It's good. I love when I know somebody who wins. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. And, something, I want to thank the both of you for joining us today. This has been a pleasure. But next time, you have to be with me.
I am, and you better have that jar of eggplant with you.
Yes, ma'am. Salute. No, we'll take care of it. Hey, listen, continued success. I give you a lot of credit. You're going to Italy this year, right?
Hopefully in May, we're going to Sicily.
You're going in May. You have 2 trips, right?
I have 2 trips, one in May to Sicily and one in October to Umbria.
Oh, you're going to Umbria. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You doing cooking classes out there, or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This whole trip revolves around the food.
Your trips are strictly around
food.
Food
and wine. Yeah. Food and wine. And history, too. History and
culture.
Know
something? It doesn't get any better than that. Food and wine, David. You know something? I'm so glad I'm Italian. Chrissy, you can't believe it.
She's Australian.
Yeah. I'm so honest
I'm
about
Australian Italian.
I
you
mean,
didn't know that?
This is, it's a wonderful thing. Some people eat to live. I live to eat.
Me
I mean,
too.
that's the only thing. Hey, Guy, take care of our girl, okay?
I'll do my best.
And,
thanks for having us.
And hopefully
ciao, everybody.
we can get together. Marianne Esposito and her wonderful husband, Guy. Take care, guys. Thank you. Salute. So how are we doing, fellas?
We're out.
We're doing good.
We're gone.
I mean,
go end the show.
Yeah.
And that's it. And thank you very much for listening to us. And we had a lot of fun with Marianne. And Andy Parisi, congratulations on the gift certificate. Take care.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.